certain groups have used their immunity and their influence to assert that they're above the constitution. How do you intend to make sure that you are seen to be working on these certain groups who use their immunity and influence without treading on the parliamentary democracy that you espouse?
This is a big problem because although we are a parliamentary democracy, the people who run the government are quite feudal in their way of thinking. They cannot say no. Even though something is wrong, something is suggested to them, which is wrong, which is against the law even, they still do it because they don't go against higher authorities.
When you talked about retracting from the Rome Statute, you were very upset.
I was upset because this is the first time somebody tried to make use of the rulers in order to frustrate the government. That is very wrong. If they have any problem, they can ask us. We can explain what the Statute of Rome is all about. But instead, they somehow managed to have a meeting which is not consistent with the Constitution. Well, they would manage to influence people. Then we need to ensure that the people continue to support us. So for the time being, we have to do away with the Statute of Rome. But eventually, we will have to tell the people that this is not going to do away with our Constitution. Our Constitution, our laws remain. It is only when we fail to apply the law or we cannot apply the law, like there is mass murder or mass jailing of people, then I think the International Criminal Court can intervene.
Kenapa selepas pindaan perlembagaan itu dibuat, masih terdapat campur tangan istana ni lagi?
Bila negeri-negeri menerima the federal constitution, each state has abide by the principles of the government by the people. But to do that, you must have people who will be able to say to rulers, for example, that this is wrong, this is against the law, this is not good for the country and all that. But we find a reluctance on the part of everyone. For example, if the ruler takes land, confiscate land and all that, this has got to go through the administrative process. But the administrators dare not refuse. So land has been taken away from people, lots of wrong things were done, things which were against the law, but the enforcers, the executive wing, will not do anything. They will just comply. Because of that, there is at the moment almost a government that is not democratic. It has become, for example, state executive papers have to be endorsed. But actually we shouldn't, because it's the people, elected people, who must decide. But they are very reluctant to say no. That's
until
how.
Now.
Until now.
Still have
Yeah, it was against the concept of federal government with where people are elected and they will be able to rule the country through their elected representative. But the elected representative himself is not up to saying no to something that encroaches on his authority. He just follow. So we have this problem, and people on the whole are not happy. And this is the problem, is the mentality of the people that this is sacrosanct, this is something above us and we cannot say no, even if wrong things are done. I have tried to correct before. We set up a special court for the rulers. Has never been, it was used only once. But after that, it's never been used. Supposing somebody is punched by somebody, it doesn't go to the court. People make reports. It doesn't go to the court. So people feel that you get into trouble if you don't comply. Part of the task I am undertaking is, of course, to put a stop to this failure to follow the Constitution. But of course, I have been blackened with other things like this Rome Statute. On this issue, the attempt made was to blacken my name so that I will not be influential, so that I can be overthrown. This is ongoing. And of course, we should actually take action over such thing, but there again, we have a problem of implementation, because the agencies of government are often very reluctant to do anything. They look the other way.
Istana demand sebagai contohnya pelan ekonomi dan sebagainya dipersembahkan kepada mereka terlebih dahulu. Adakah praktis ini dibenarkan sebenarnya, Tun?
Dia nak tengok boleh, tapi it's not for him to approve or not. You see, the right to implement anything, it rests with the people's government.
Tapi itu kalau dia campur tangan juga, macam mana tu? You nak selesai masalah macam ni?
Well, it is a difficult problem, I must say. But I try that if some, as you know, the last time we decided to amend the Constitution so that if the ruler does not sign, and after 2 months it becomes valid anyway. That's one thing that we did. Of course, we have to wait for 2 months. That law was made when the government had a 2/3 majority. Now we don't have a 2/3 majority. We need the support of the opposition in order to amend the law. And the opposition are not always forthcoming. Even the identification of Sabah, Sarawak and Peninsular Malaysia as the 3 parties which were involved in the formation of Malaysia, we couldn't get the 2/3 majority.